The digital masquerade. Imagine a masquerade ball in 18th century Venice. Hundreds of guests glide through candlelit halls, their faces obscured by intricate masks, plumed, gilded, jeweled. Each mask tells a story, the warrior, the lover, the tragedian. But as the night wears on, the masks fuse to the skin. The performers forget their true faces. The audience forgets too. All that remains is the spectacle. This is the paradox of our age. Social media heroes, the influencers, the gurus, the self-styled saviors of your productivity, your wellness, your authenticity, are players in a masquerade that never ends. They promise to guide you, but their true art lies in keeping you enchanted. Like the Venetian revelers, we've confused the mask for the person. And the longer we stare, the harder it becomes to tell where the performance stops and the self begins. Consider this. What if the heroes you admire are not guides, but architects of a labyrinth? Their currency isn't wisdom, but attention. Their power lies in a simple truth. Humans crave narratives. We're wired to seek heroes, to rally behind those who claim to light our path. But in the digital realm, heroism is a commodity. Every relatable rant, every vulnerable post, is a calculated performance designed to hook your gaze. The masquerade thrives on duality. The wellness guru who preaches detoxes while sipping sponsored green juice. The anti-capitalist activist monetizing rage into merch. The authentic creator whose day-in-the-life video required 6 takes, 3 editors, and a $200 ring light. These contradictions aren't accidental. They're the point. The mask must be both aspirational and attainable, flawed, yet superior. It's a dance of contradictions that keeps you scrolling, wondering, comparing. Philosophers have long warned of life as theater. Shakespeare's All the World's a Stage feels quaint compared to today's digital amphitheater, where billions perform simultaneously. But unlike Shakespeare's metaphor, there's no curtain call here, no moment to step backstage and reclaim your unmasked self. The show must go on, and you're both actor and audience, a feedback loop of emulation and envy. The danger isn't the masquerade itself, it's the forgetting. When we mistake the hero's script for reality, we surrender our agency. We outsource our desires to those who monetize them. The masks become cages. The spectacle becomes life. But what if you could see the strings? What if, in the flicker between frames, you glimpsed the machinery behind the hero's halo? The next time you scroll, ask yourself, who is this mask truly serving? The masquerade isn't ending, but you can choose to stop dancing. The paradox of performance. Let's return to the masquerade. In 18th century Venice, carnival masks were tools of liberation, a way to shed social hierarchies, if only for a night. But today's digital masks don't liberate. They bind socials. Media turns identity into a performance, and performance into a prison. Sociologist Irving Goffman likened life to a theater. We play roles: the devoted parent at home, the ambitious professional at work, the carefree friend at a party. These front-stage personas are deliberate, curated for specific audiences. Backstage, we shed these roles, returning to our unguarded selves. But social media collapses this duality. The front stage never ends. Every post, story, and comment is a calculated act, a bid for applause. Here's the trap. To compete in the digital arena, we mimic the heroes. We adopt their aesthetics, the minimalist aesthetics, the no-makeup makeup, the faux candid vulnerability. We borrow their language, manifesting my dreams. This doesn't define me, my truth. But in copying their scripts, we become echo chambers of a persona we barely recognize. Philosopher Jean Baudrillard called this simulation, a world where symbols replace reality. The influencer's perfectly imperfect life isn't real. It's a hyper-real construct, a simulation designed to be consumed. You scroll, compare, and internalize these simulations as ideals. The result? A dissociative haze where your own life feels lackluster, unscripted, inauthentic. Consider the psychological toll. Psychologists warn of identity fragmentation, the stress of maintaining multiple digital personas, The cheerful Instagram mom, the ambitious LinkedIn strategist, the politically charged Twitter avatar. Each mask demands energy, eroding the coherence of self. You become a curator of avatars, none fully true, all exhausting. The paradox deepens. The more you perform authenticity, the less authentic you feel. Plato's allegory of the cave resurfaces, except now, the shadows on the wall are your own. You're both prisoner and jailer, chained not by chains but by likes. The heroes you envy? They're prisoners too, trapped in a loop of their own creation. This is the game's dirty secret. The heroes aren't heroes. They're mirrors, reflecting back your insecurities to sell you solutions. The acne-covered model promotes skincare. The debt-free guru sells financial courses. The body-positive advocate peddles waist trainers. The performance isn't about you. It's about converting your attention into profit. So how do you resist? Start by noticing the cracks in the performance. When a hero posts a real moment, ask, who's directing this scene? Who profits from my reaction? The mask isn't the enemy, it's the obsession with the mask. The first step to freedom? Let the performance end, not forever, just for tonight. The algorithmic puppeteer behind every hero's rise lies an invisible architect, the algorithm. It is the puppeteer you'll never meet, yet its strings are woven into every scroll, every like, every just one more video. Let's pull back. The curtain. Algorithms are not neutral tools, they're systems of control. Designed to maximize engagement, they thrive on extremes: outrage, envy, awe. Like a Skinner box that rewards lab rats with pellets, they condition you. Post a heroic story, get dopamine in the form of likes. Linger on a conspiracy theory, get more conspiracies. The algorithm doesn't care about truth or well-being. It cares about capture, keeping your attention hostage. Consider this. Every time you interact with a hero's content, you feed the machine. The wellness gurus post about letting go of materialism, boosted by an algorithm that tracks your history of clicking on consumer culture critiques. The activists' fiery rant, amplified because you once lingered on a political meme. The algorithm isn't malevolent, it's parasitic. It learns your vulnerabilities and weaponizes them. Shoshana Zuboff, philosopher of technology, calls this surveillance capitalism. Your attention is the raw material. Your insecurities, the fear of missing out, the hunger for validation, are mined, processed, and sold. The hero's post about breaking free from consumerism, sponsored by a brand that paid to target your demographic. The raw confession? A calculated trigger to keep you scrolling, your data harvested with every second. The algorithm's genius lies in its invisibility. It doesn't dictate, it suggests. It doesn't command, it anticipates. Over time, it narrows your world into a filter bubble, a personalized matrix where every post reinforces what you already believe, or what it thinks you believe. The heroes you follow aren't random. They're mirrors reflecting the version of reality the algorithm thinks will hook you best. Here's the philosophical crux. Algorithms don't just reflect your preferences, they design them. French theorist Paul Virilio warned of technological determinism, where tools shape human behavior. The algorithm doesn't just show you heroes, it makes you crave them. It trains you to seek validation through performance, to conflate self-worth with virality. Even the heroes are puppets. Their authenticity is a survival tactic in a system that punishes nuance. To stay visible, they must post relentlessly, stoke controversy, or dissolve into obscurity. The algorithm rewards extremes, so heroes become caricatures, their messages diluted into hashtags and hooks. How do you resist? Start by recognizing the strings. When a hero's post feels too tailored to your insecurities, ask, who programmed this moment? When you feel an urge to click, pause. The algorithm's power lies in its invisibility, but you can learn to see it. The puppeteer thrives in darkness. Shine a light. The hero's journey, Arfi or Mirage. Joseph Campbell's hero's journey is humanity's oldest story. The call to adventure, the trials, the transformation, the return home wiser and whole. Social media heroes hijack this myth. They cast themselves as the protagonist, underdog turned icon, broken soul turned guru, and invite you to play the role of loyal follower. But their journey is a hall of mirrors reflecting back a fantasy of growth while obscuring the grind of real change. Campbell's hero ventures into the unknown, confronts dragons, and earns wisdom through struggle. The social media heroes' struggle is a highlight reel. Their dragon is a vague caption, "I hit rock bottom, but you won't believe what happened next." Their wisdom is a $97 e-course. The journey is stripped of ambiguity, pain, and time. It's a fairy tale where transformation happens between swipes. French philosopher Jean Baudrillard warned of hyper-reality, a world where simulations overshadow the real. The hero's journey on social media is hyper-reality perfected. Their vulnerability is a performance. Their success is a loop of motivational quotes and shopping links. You're not consuming a story, you're buying a simulation of growth. The Mirage works because it taps into a universal hunger, the desire to believe that transformation is simple. The hero's journey offers a map. Do X, buy Y, become Z. In a world where real change is slow, nonlinear, and uncomfortably human. Followers are told they can manifest their dreams, yet the only thing being manifested is the hero's bank balance. Consider the psychological sleight of hand. The hero's struggle is curated to flatter their brand. Their vulnerability is a sales tactic, a way to monetize your empathy. Even their wins are edited to erase the messy middle, the doubt, the setbacks, the unphotogenic grind. You're left chasing a ghost, the idea of a hero, not the reality. The paradox is cruel. The more you emulate the hero's journey, the further you drift from your own. By chasing their script, their goals, their aesthetics, you surrender the messy, beautiful work of writing your own story. The Mirage promises self-discovery but delivers self-erasure. So how do you escape the Mirage? Start by asking, what's missing from this story? The hero's journey is defined by its omissions, the unposted moments, the unspoken compromises. When you see a post about overnight success, remember the years of silent labor. When a hero claims to have mastered wellness, ask who's profiting from your self-doubt. The hero's journey isn't a lie, it's a cautionary tale. The real adventure lies not in becoming the hero, but in seeing through the myth. Awakening from the digital dream. Awakening is not a moment, it's a practice, like surfacing from a dream. It begins with a flicker of awareness. This isn't real. The heroes, the algorithms, the endless scroll, they're part of a collective trance. To awaken is to feel the weight of the mask, to sense the strings, and to choose gently to loosen their grip. The first step is noticing. Notice how your breath quickens when you see a notification. Notice the pang of inadequacy when a hero's post flashes perfect. Notice how the algorithm nudges you from outrage to envy to nostalgia, a carousel of emotions designed to keep you numb. These are the breadcrumbs leading you back to yourself. Philosophers speak of epistemic injustice, the harm of being misled about reality. Social media heroes and algorithms collude in this injustice, gaslighting you into believing your life is lacking. Awakening demands epistemic rebellion. Question every narrative. Who profits from my self-doubt? Who gains if I keep scrolling? Doubt is the antidote to the trance. Practical steps follow. Turn off notifications. They're not reminders, but interruptions. Curate your feed as if pruning a garden. Weed out accounts that peddle envy, and nurture those that plant seeds of curiosity. Seek creators who embrace nuance, who let you see the cracks in their armor. But awakening isn't just subtraction, it's addition. Replace scrolling with silence, sit with discomfort. Let your mind wander without a hashtag. Rediscover the unfiltered textures of life, the smell of rain, the ache of grief, the joy of a meal cooked without an audience. These moments are your rebellion. They're real. The final paradox: to awaken is to embrace your own hero's journey, the unscripted, unfiltered version. It won't look like the highlight reels. There'll be no viral fanfare, no monetized milestones. But there will be you, in all your flawed, evolving glory. The digital masquerade will go on, but you don't have to.